let's introduce to you the Wangstone. I'm gonna make a song with some Splice samples that I chose. Hashtag not sponsored, but there is a sample race day. If you watch this in time, you can register for the event. Basically, we're all gonna make a song using these samples, and the winning song gets some cool shit. If that isn't a deal, I don't know what is. So anyways, where can I put this thing? Shit, man. Anyway, okay, let's open Splice. So under collection, equalize sample race. These are all the samples that are chose. I'm using that. Top tip, when I choose samples in general, I look out for long samples that don't repeat too much. One of my pet peeves is like a 4-bar sample that's the same 4 beats over and over and over, and you're like, bruh, this isn't a 4-bar loop, this is a 1-beat loop. There's some lazy sample pack makers out there, hey? Sure. If you want to get some good sample packs they're made by someone that's not that lazy, go to a little beat shop and buy one of my sample packs. A lot of string samples on Splice, or anywhere really, this is not Splice specific, are just string VST instruments with chords. They're not actually someone playing the violin. I like to get real acoustic recordings when I get samples and not just like MIDI instruments, because I can just do that myself over here, especially if it sounds fake. And your girl cannot tolerate fake sounding strings. Fake sounding saxophone. Let me know your least favorite fake sounding acoustic instrument in the comments. Alright, let's get some other material. That kick, definitely. So I'm gonna make a drum rack. Let's drag that kick. It's as simple as clicking and dragging. It's really cool. There, you already got like a beat there. Yeah, this one's a bit odd, but let's just play with it. Ooh, this is great for sound design. So here's a good example. To me, this sounds like a real viola playing. So I was like, cool, this could be a useful loop. And another thing I noticed here is you've got the ding, 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 ding. That last note is quite resonant. It's more resonant because it's an open string on the viola. So a string that's not being pushed down by a finger. They resonate differently. I like that. Let's grab that. Hi-hats. Like a good open hi-hat is so underrated. Like I reckon these LFO type deep low vibrations could make for some really interesting sound design. Also, listening to this gives me goosebumps. Whew, I get shivers down my spine. I think Mr. Bill's sample packs on Splice are really, really cool. They're really interesting. I mean, it's just too easy to make a beat like this. I'm gonna actually try and stretch myself and not just use the sample as it is, although there's nothing wrong with that. I kind of want to do that. It's just because I'm on camera that I feel like I need to do something fancy. Ooh. I said I was gonna do something fancy, but this just works so well. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Duplicate. This can be like a slightly B section. I want to play with this trumpet. Ooh. Maybe. Okay, what's this stuff? Ooh. Okay, let's see where we can slot that in. Dooba-dooba-doo. Maybe something like that. I'm gonna play with these transients. So because the sample ended so quickly and I want to have because the sample ended so quickly and I want to have more of a tail, I'm going to put reverb on it and automate the dry wet so that as the sample ends, the reverb increases, making it sound like it has more of a tail, so it fades out and into the next section of the song. I'm not happy with this timing. See, what I don't like about this trumpet sample is I can hear a bunch of different trumpets in it. It's going to be very hard to EQ that out because it's in competing frequencies with a trumpet, but let's try. I don't love it. I'm hungry. See, da 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 da. Don't like that. Ooh, 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 ooh. I took the sample, I duplicated it, and I transposed it 12 semitones down. It's only minus 11 and not minus 12 because this one is on 1. So 1 minus 12 is minus 11. Something like that. That was alright. So I've noticed we don't have bass. Not every song needs to have a bass. Not every song needs to have a bass. I've noticed that a lot of lo-fi songs that I like actually don't always have a bass, and I find it gives the song a feeling of more like floatiness. Bass is definitely cool for grounding stuff, and if you want to have like a hard-hitting banger beat or something that's really like bouncy, you need that contrast between the bass and the higher stuff, like a kick and a snare, or like bass melody and like top melody and like more. But if you just want this floaty, ethereal song, I don't think bass is necessary. So I'm contemplating not having bass for this song. Am I going to get cancelled? Let's try something. I don't know if it'll work. And I know this option isn't open to everyone. I'm going to run this through Melodyne. Melodyne is a software I use to tune vocals. I personally don't use vocals much, but often I will work for other people that need me to tune vocals. So that's why I have Melodyne, and it is super useful for tuning my violin as well. So I want to run this trumpet through and see if Melodyne picks up those extra notes that are annoying me, and maybe I can just delete those extra notes. That would be rad. So this is me transferring the trumpet to Melodyne, and let's stop. It's going to do its little working out thing. Doesn't look like it did too well. Let's go to algorithm, melodic. I want to go for polyphonic sustain. Redetect. Let's see. Wowzers! Look at that. Okay. So this is the fundamental. So it's noticing all these upper harmonics which the previous notes generated. So what we're hearing aren't like the fundamentals of those original notes, and by fundamental I mean like the bass note that was being played, but these are all overtones. So maybe if I delete all the overtones, maybe it might sound thin. Let's see. Alright, it sounds super thin, but those other notes are gone. So I should have done it over here though. Okay. So it's kind of important for Melodyne to be on at the beginning of the effects chain because I wanted to get the audio clean, not with effects on. So let's try this again. La 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 la. I think I will add a bass, but it's super simple. Not every song needs to have a bass. Just the roots and the fifth and the roots. And I'm gonna... Ooh, I should be using samples from Splice. I was about to do... Not that. But it's good. I got a bass sample. Yeah, I think this is what I'm going to use. That's exactly what I'm going to use. Shush, please, shush. Thank you. La, la, la. Those are the two notes I want. So now I'm going to go through the sample looking for those two notes so I can cut them out and use them in isolation. There we go. This is one note. You can just take any note and transpose it, but because I'm trying to retain as much of the audio information as possible so that it actually sounds like an acoustic instrument, I'm going to choose a pitch that is as closest to the pitch that I want and transpose that. see. Complex. See, actually, I'm already taking it far too seriously. I don't want the bass to have that movement. I was thinking no bass, maybe a subtle root and a fifth. It's so easy to get caught up in just editing all the stuff, and then when you actually step back and you're like, So I'm glad I caught myself there. Well done, me. So I could spend time doing that, but I'm going to just use a pizzicato bass. Okay, now another cool tip. When I'm recording MIDI like that, I was recording on my laptop, and sometimes it's difficult to hit the right notes, especially if I'm in a funny key, because it's a laptop keyboard. But what I find very important is just to get the rhythmic information and the start and end of each note. So I'm not actually focusing too much on playing the right notes. I want to get the right rhythm so it sounds like a human played it. And then I can change the MIDI pitch very easily in editing, and it doesn't detract from that swing feel. So to hear it better, often I'll just transpose an octave up, and obviously soloing it so that I can hear the bass on its own. See, that's the wrong note. Oh, of course, I need to transpose it down an octave again, because I'm done with editing. I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm going to play some strings over it, I think. I'm going to try. It may flop. It flopped. Wait, did I tell you about the Wangstone? You do you, boo. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Really gets into those pressure points.